Africa has become a global growth pole. Ethiopia has become a showcase for what the African continent can offer. The country has achieved an 11% annual growth rate for more than a decade. Ethiopia's investment environment has attracted companies from many countries, including India, China, the USA, Turkey, the UK and other European countries, as well as Africa, especially Sudan, Djibouti, Egypt and Nigeria. Ethiopia offers a wide range of incentives across all sectors. Big corporates like H&M, Diageo, Unilever, Petards, Nyota, Delenux Energy and Southwest Energy are now running thriving businesses in Ethiopia. As the second most populous country in Africa with a population of over 87 million, Ethiopia offers a vast potential market with a growing number of people joining the middle income group. Ethiopia is implementing an agriculture-led industrialization strategy. The country has undertaken huge investment in improved agricultural practices, new technologies, and small, medium and large-scale irrigation schemes. These measures have enabled Ethiopia to become food self-sufficient at national level. The new democratic Ethiopia has opened up educational opportunities at all levels, providing citizens with a chance for self-realization, which will help ensure sustainable development, which is crucial to the formation of a vibrant nation. The construction of 32 public universities and other new higher learning institutes, such as vocational and technical colleges, across the breadth of the nation, reflects the government's commitment to a better and more modern education system that caters for people's needs. Another 11 universities are under construction. The hub of African politics and the capital of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, is engaged in a flurry of activity with a construction boom that feeds the hospitality sector and housing projects, including real estate development. Addis Ababa is constructing 150,000 residential houses in just 1 year, creating over 2 million jobs, and these will be completed by the end of the Growth and Transformation Plan period in July this year. Ethiopia, as home to the ECA, the AU, and many sub-regional organisations, hosts more than 3,000 large and small-scale conferences annually. Addis Ababa has hosted countless global conferences and has won the bid to host the 4th Global Conference of the International Coffee Organization in 2016, and also this year the 16th of July UN Conference on financing the post-2015 Sustainable Development Agenda. This highlights the growing stature of Addis Ababa as a leading global city.
Coffee is going back to the home of coffee.
Ethiopia is a lead participant in peacekeeping missions organised under the United Nations and the AU Peace and Security Council. Currently, Ethiopian peacekeeping forces are deployed in Abyei and as part of the hybrid force in Darfur, as well as in Somalia within AMISOM. Ethiopian forces have previously been deployed in Rwanda, Burundi and Liberia. The construction boom is in evidence across Ethiopia, where people are focused on building a robust economy in a bid to transform the nation into a middle-income country in the not-too-distant future. One example is the 82-kilometre Addis Ababa to Adama toll road, opened in May 2014 in the presence of Prime Minister Haile Mariam and Chinese Premier Li Keqiang, who was in Addis Ababa on a 3-day official visit. The road project was launched by former Prime Minister Meles Zenawi in November 2010, heralding the government's current 5-year growth and transformation plan. The plan embraces a number of huge investment development projects, which will be instrumental in realising the social economic changes the government has devised to alleviate poverty and inequality. During the current 5-year growth and transformation plan period, over 8 million jobs have been created. Ethiopian Shipping Lines marked its 50th anniversary last year with the inauguration of 9 new vessels, bringing the total to 12 national carriers. During its 5 decades of operations, the shipping line has owned 34 ships, with routes to the Far East and Asia via the Indian Ocean being their major destinations. Now, the major destinations have changed to Middle Eastern countries such as the United Arab Emirates and China in the Far East. Ethiopian Airlines, the fastest and most profitable African airline, commands the lion's share of the Pan-African passenger and cargo network, operating the most modern fleet to 86 international destinations, 46 of which are in Africa, and across 5 continents with over 200 daily flights. The Ethiopian fleet includes state-of-the-art, ultra-modern and environmentally friendly aircraft, including the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and other most recent Boeing passenger and cargo planes, and the Bombardier Q400 with double cabin. In fact, Ethiopian was the first airline in Africa to own and operate these aircraft. The airline received its 10th Dreamliner in April this year. Ethiopian Airlines is a member of the Star Alliance network, which is the leading global airline network with the highest number of member airlines, 28, daily flights, destinations and countries flown to. For Ethiopia, information technology is another area of major importance. Expansion of landlines and mobile telephone services is at the heart of the modernisation of Ethiopia's telecommunications. The number of mobile phone subscribers will reach 40 million by the end of 2015, and internet use will grow faster to allow information exchange to promote science and technology in particular. Energy is the engine which sustains the impetus of the now thriving manufacturing and processing industries. Ethiopian dam projects, including the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, are of paramount importance in raising the supply of power to emerging industries, which will in turn accelerate the economic growth that is pulling millions of Ethiopians out of poverty. The Gilgel Gibe Dams 1, 2 and 3, the Tekezi Dam, the various wind farms and geothermal and solar energy will propel Ethiopia's green growth. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam will eventually produce 6,000 megawatts of electricity, bringing the national total to about 10,000 megawatts of power by 2017. Several countries in the region have already begun importing electricity from the Ethiopian national grid. This is just a precursor of the economic integration to which Ethiopia is committed. Producers in all corners of the country have now been connected to markets where they can earn decent prices for their commodities, as tens of thousands of kilometres of road have been constructed, both in urban and rural Ethiopia. New railway networks are under construction, and these will further enhance access to both public and freight transportation, providing fast and reliable means of transport, thereby bringing the nations, nationalities and peoples of Ethiopia closer together. Diversification of the national economy is one of the causes of the higher rate of growth that Ethiopia has attained, placing it among the 10 fastest growing economies in the world. Floriculture is now taking root in the country, employing tens of thousands of people and earning the country more than $300 million a year, with the prospect of growing at a faster pace in the years to come. It has created unprecedented job opportunities for women in rural Ethiopia. Democratic institutions, including the bicameral parliament, the Human Rights Commission and the Ombudsman's Office, are putting down firm roots on which democracy and good governance will flourish. Ethiopians are empowered to take part in the business of running their country with a heightened sense of ownership and responsibility. Ethiopia is now celebrating the 24th anniversary of Ginbot Haya, May 28, which marks the downfall of the military dictatorship in 1991. This year, celebrations have taken place after the successful conclusion of the 5th national election. By any standards, the election process has been characterized as free, fair, transparent and credible. A reflection of this is the fact that over 37 million voters registered, and over 90% of them cast their votes on polling day. Drawing important lessons from the previous 4 elections, the National Electoral Board made all the necessary preparations in full consultation with all stakeholders, including opposition parties, the ruling coalition, EPRDF, and independent candidates. It ensured that free access to information was in place. Each political party was allocated airtime on TV and radio and space in the print media. 9 television debates took place from the 13th of March on a range of key issues including federalism, rural and urban development, industrial policy, national security, foreign policy, education and health. The debates have been testimony to the upsurge of interest in competitive politics. As is the norm, state funding was made available to all political parties for campaigning purposes to the tune of 30 million birr, equivalent to $1.5 million. The Electoral Board urged the public to turn out in full force for the election, and they did so. The final results will be declared on June 22. But the National Electoral Board has announced that preliminary results indicate an overwhelming victory for the governing coalition, the EPRDF. May 28, 1991, the first Ginbot Haya, heralded the political and economic transformation of Ethiopia. This year it is celebrated immediately after the launch of important projects that will have a decisive impact on the growth and progress of Ethiopia. This includes the commissioning of iron and steel manufacturing and of a railway line from Addis Ababa to Jimma and Bedele, which will eventually connect up with neighbouring countries to the south and west of Ethiopia. This railway line is in addition to the ones under construction, which include the 780-kilometre Addis Ababa to Djibouti railway, the 489-kilometre Mekele-Waldia-Tajura line, and the light railway, which is already partly operational and which will be passenger ready in July this year. The light railway will offer an effective solution to Addis Ababa's transport problems. 2 fertilizer factories are also under construction, and they will have a huge impact on Ethiopia's agricultural sector. This year's celebrations also signify the launch of the second Growth and Transformation Plan, which is expected to take Ethiopia onto a higher sustainable development trajectory. The second plan gives prime importance to the industrial development sector. The country is engaged in the construction of industrial zones in various regions across the country. It is against this backdrop that this year, while we are celebrating the 24th anniversary of Ginbot Haya, we take time to reflect on the excellent relations that exist between Ethiopia and the United Kingdom. The relations have continued to grow, and the number of UK companies investing in Ethiopia is increasing, as Britain's ambassador to Ethiopia has made clear.
Well, if you go back maybe 6 or 7 years, there was almost nothing, and now I see trade is moving in the right direction on both sides, although I'm sure there's a lot more we can do in that particular area, but both in terms of goods and invisibles, again, the movement is in the right direction. In terms of investment, over the past 2-3 years we've started to see big British investments coming to Ethiopia. Diageo's $225 million investment in the Meta brewery, but also Duet and Vasari have invested in another brewery. We're seeing other agricultural value-added manufacturing investments starting to be made. British oil and gas and mineral exploration companies very, very interested in the market. Energy renewable companies also extremely interested, and we're starting to see big companies outsourcing production in Ethiopia as well. So the Tesco's and Marks and Spencer's and so on of this world are also now going to Ethiopia as a place where they know they can find a good quality, better educated workforce, and they can produce goods for markets around the world now from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia will continue with the fight against poverty and will engage hand in glove with our development partners, such as the UK, to further improve the life of its hard-working and peace-loving people.